Welcome to the classroom. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
If you were asked the difference between leadership and management, what would you say? One definition for leadership: it is the ability of an individual or a group of individuals to influence others, inspire others, and most importantly, guide them in achieving their goals. Management is all about coordinating, planning, organizing, leading and controlling employees to achieve goals. They become a manager because of the position in which they were appointed. I have to say that I like Simon Sinek's elaboration on what makes a good leader and manager, because it fits in with an old saying that some managers are good leaders, but not all managers are good leaders.
There are two things that I think that great leaders need to have: empathy and perspective. And I think these things are very often forgotten. Leaders are so often so concerned about their status or their position in an organization, they actually forget their real job. And the real job of a leader is not about being in charge, it's about taking care of those in our charge. And I don't think people realize this, and I don't think people train for this. When we're junior, our only responsibility is to be good at our jobs. That's all we really have to do. And some people actually go get advanced educations so that they can be really good at their jobs, accountants or whatever, right? And you show up and you work hard, and the company will give us tons and tons of training how to do our jobs. They'll show us how to use the software. They'll send us away for a few days to get trained in whatever it is that we're doing for the company. And then they expect us to go be good at our jobs. And that's what we do. We work very hard. And if you're good at your job, they'll promote you. And at some point, you'll get promoted to a position where we're now responsible for the people who do the job we used to do, but nobody shows us how to do that. And that's why we get managers and not leaders. Because the reason our managers are micromanaging us is because they actually do know how to do the job better than us. That's what got them promoted. Really what we have to do is go through a transition. Some people make it quickly, some people make it slowly, and unfortunately some people will never make that transition at all. Which is we have to go through this transition of being responsible for the job and then turning into somebody who's now responsible for the people who are responsible for the job. And as I said before, one of the great things that is lacking in most of our companies is that they are not teaching us how to lead. And leadership is a skill like any other. It is a practicable, learnable skill. And it is something that you work on. It's like a muscle. If you practice it all the days, you will get good at it and you will become a strong leader. If you stop practicing, you will become a weak leader. Like parenting, everyone has the capacity to be a parent. Doesn't mean everybody wants to be a parent, and doesn't mean everybody should be a parent. Leadership is the same. We all have the capacity to be a leader. Doesn't mean everybody should be a leader, and it doesn't mean everybody wants to be a leader. And the reason is because it comes at great personal sacrifice. Remember, you're not in charge, you're responsible for those in your charge. That means things like when everything goes right, you have to give away all the credit. And when everything goes wrong, you have to take all the responsibility. That sucks, right? It's things like staying late to show somebody what to do. It's things like when something does actually break, when something goes wrong, instead of yelling and screaming and taking over, you say, try again. When the overwhelming pressures are not on them, the overwhelming pressures are on us. At the end of the day, great leaders are not responsible for the job. They're responsible for the people who are responsible for the job. They're not even responsible for the results. I love talking to CEOs and say, what's your priority? And they put their hands on their hips all proudly and say, my priority is my customer. I'm like, really? You haven't talked to a customer in 15 years. There's no CEO on the planet responsible for the customer. They're just not. They're responsible for the people who are responsible for the people who are responsible for the customer.
The Milestone Academy says this: great leaders create a vision, Managers create goals. As a small business grows, many take the very exciting and daunting step to hiring their first employee. If this is you, well, congratulations. It's a huge milestone for you and your business. Many owners can fall into the trap of expecting to teach their new employee exactly how things are done in the owner's way. That, unfortunately, is management. While it is important that you manage your people, if you just do this, then the experience will not be great for the owner or your new employees, as the owner will always feel that they can do it quicker and better. So essentially, you have no trust for your employee, and they don't feel like they can bring their own skill sets and personality to the table to contribute. It is normal to want to manage something that you've put your heart and soul into, especially when you found a system or way that really works for you. So when hiring people, train them in your systems and allow them to come up with new systems and new ideas. Let them do this to have ideas to test. Some will work and obviously some will not. Your business will grow quicker and be more innovative when you lead this way. You see, the thing is, leaders tend to create an atmosphere which motivates people, getting them to pursue success on their own by helping them to realize their significance to the organization and the value which they can then contribute. To run a great business, you must actually have a balance between leadership and good management. If you are just a great leader, you will motivate everyone, but not much will get done. If you are a good manager, but don't have the leadership in you, then things will get done, but vision and growth will not be evident in your business. So metaphorically, if management skills are your hands, leadership is your heart. You need to have hands and your heart working together to run a successful small business.
Thank you for joining us in this lesson. If you learned something, give the video a like, share, and subscribe for more great content.